Hello and welcome to my channel if you're new here, and if you have been here before, welcome back. My name is Sara and this will be my update for my Panda palette, which is in collaboration with the Fantastic Ladies, and this year's theme was invented by Jessica Lee here on YouTube. I will link her in the description down below as usual. And Panda palette, the concept of that was invented by Amber F, also here on YouTube, and I will link her down below. So this year's theme for the Fantastic Ladies are Sizematters, which is a bulky or big palette that's difficult to store. And for me, my most bulkiest packaging is my Urban Decay Stone Vibes palette. So I've been working on this one since January, and this one is a really exciting update for me because I have finally hit pan in one of the shades. So I will put up a picture of how the palette looked last month. And this is how it looks this month. And as you probably can tell, I hit pan on Ojo, which it was chosen as my focus shade this month. I bit off a bit more than I can chew because I said I would try to use it 10 times this month, but so far I only used it 5 more times and I hit pan, and because I hit pan I wanted to be a bit more conservative with this shade because I really like it, and I started focusing on some other shades in the palette so I could get use of all the shades and not just one shade this month. So I will go through the shades one by one, and I will also put it's really hard to show with a mirror. So this is what it looks like, and I will also put up some pictures up in, I think, this corner of what it looked like last month and what it looks like now. The first shade, Good Karma, this one, I used 14 times this month. I use it as a lid setting shade and it works quite well as that. And I'm not sure if you can see, I have quite a big dip going in it. And I'm not sure, because it's such a pale shade, I'm not sure if it will show up in pictures until I hit pan, and hopefully I will hit pan next month. I'm really optimistic. Next shade is the shade Jade, which is my absolute favorite shade in this palette, and I use this just one time because this is more of a summer autumn shade for me, so I will try to save it until then, where I can have more enjoyment out of it than just use it to use it. The next shade, Opal Aura, which I really like using in tandem with this one in the outer corner and this one in my inner third on my eyelid. This one I used 4 times, and I'm starting to see a bit of a dip and a bit of a disturbance. Jade is pretty flat so far. Next is Tiger's Eye, which is a really pretty golden shade, golden bronzy shade, and I've used this just 1 time. After that, it's the shade Vibes, which I've used 3 times, and it's a bit of a pinky shade, but it's still kind of dusty in the color. But I've used this together with my Norvina palette and the shade Love, which is in my Pando's eyeshadows, and it worked really well together because that's also kind of a dusty pink. Antidote I've used 7 times this month. So last month I used it 2 times, and this month This time I used it 7, so there's a bit of a more disturbance in it. I'm not sure if you can see it. There's some brush strokes and a small dip starting. And I really like this. It's a bit too light it's a bit too dark for a lid setting shade, but it's too light to really give a lot of color. So I've been using it to warm up the Love shade in the Norvina palette, as I did today, so it's not so dusty and so pink. It becomes more of a coral because I like a coral shade with most of the shades in this palette, especially with this one. Then we have Hexed, which I also started using a lot this month. I've used this 8 times. And I really like it. It's a bit too warm and orangey for me. For a brown, I'm not that much for neutral shades. I prefer color. So I think it will be hard for me to completely finish this shade because it's a brown and very neutral and I like color, but hopefully I will be able to do it. It pairs really well together with Tiger's Eye and Meditate, I think, and Vibes. After that, Bloodstone. I haven't used this month because I used it a lot last month, and because it's not my favorite shade, and not my favorite formula in this palette. It's a bit more hard pressed and kind of like it has hard pan, and it's really difficult to use. I didn't use it this month. Then it's the most exciting one, Orjo. I've used 5 more times, and as you can see, I hit pan. And I've used it as a nail polish once, and I'm not sure if you can see, over a black nail polish, and I really like the color, and it's a bit sparkly in the sun also, with purple and pink sparkles. It's really beautiful. And this was my focus shade this month, but it won't be going forward. I will choose a new one to focus on and hopefully hit pan in another shade as well. After that, it's Raw Energy, which is a pale purple. It's a bit kind of like my lavender shirt. And I've used this 2 times, and it's a bit sad that I don't like the formula. This is also hard pressed like Bloodstone, so it's not as flaky as those in the top row. Those I like a lot, but these 3 are really hard pressed and hard to get some pigment out of it. But I will continue to work on it, and hopefully it gets better the more I use it. But so far I have to scrape a bit at the surface to get some pigment out, or enough to get it to show up on my eyes. I used it on my eyes today as a purple, together with Meditate on the outer corner, because it's a bit darker. And Meditate I also used 2 times. And then we have Third Eye, which have started to show a bit of a dip. I'm not sure if you can tell. And that's because I use it as a liner. So it has a bit of a stripe of a dip, because I use a liner brush, and it's a bit of a satin, so you have to dig a bit to get some pigment out. But it's really beautiful as a liner, a neutral liner, because it's a dark brown. And I've used this one 9 times this month. And I can foresee myself continue using it as a liner going forward as well. And I really like it. So far everything is starting to look a bit more disturbed in the pan and show a bit of some dips. The thing is, they are a bit like Super Shock shadows, so they move around a lot in the pan, so it's really hard to see progress. So I'm also trying to use because I use my fingers with the shimmer shades. I try to use all of the surface and not just dig down. As I've done with this shade, it's been kind of evenly used. So I probably won't see that much progress now in the beginning of the year, but hopefully it will go fast towards the end of the year. And I've decided, because I'm still kind of into cool tones, and I hope I get some more cool tones in my Pandos eyeshadows this month, because I have a few rollouts. I've decided to focus my efforts on the shade Raw Energy, which is a pale lavender, and I think it will go well this time of year, spring, and I like purples. So this will be my focus shade. I'm not sure how many times I will use it, but hopefully I will see some good progress this month. This is the end of my update. I hope you stick around, come back in the future, and I hope everyone who's not subscribed considers subscribing. Thank you for watching my video. Hope to see you soon. Bye.